Nagumo Kushi, the main character of this story, stares at the flames that devour and turn his house to rubble. Instead of taking responsibility, his father throws him out. At the age of 12, he becomes a lone wolf and roams the streets for food and a place to sleep. His blood and flesh unable to bear hunger anymore, he starts begging for food. Maruwaji, a green-haired girl, comes to him asking what he wants to eat, but the first thing he witnesses is her panties. To his manly guts, his tongue slips panties. Nevertheless, she gives him food and asks him to take a bath as he's filthy. As he enters the bathroom, he witnesses 3 cute girls, all naked, enjoying the bath. Out of shyness, he runs to escape the embarrassment. While running, he falls on the 4th, with his face on her panties. Menoru introduces herself as Goddess Dormitory Manager for Seiken Women's Private University, and others introduce themselves as Kariya Sensho, Surin Hosumi, Free, and Atena Soodome. Atena is sensitive to men's presence and was knocked out immediately when his face fell on her panties. Considering his homelessness, Minoru offers him the position of dormitory mother, but Atena refuses due to her phobia of males and leaves the place. Knowing the hardships of being homeless, he decides to put down Minoru's offer and brings Atena back. On her way back, she finds him sleeping on a bench. Realizing her selfishness, she decides to bring him back to the dormitory. But as they head back, out of curiosity that he has touched something soft, he grabs her breasts, ultimately knocking her out. The next day, Kashi starts doing his duties as dorm's mother. He learns that this dormitory is called Problem Dorm in the neighborhood due to the bizarre behavior of the girls. Fairy is a cosplayer who dresses others against their will. Atena scolds the girls for being almost naked all the time as it was spoiling Kashi's mind. Kashi is glad that he ended up at Goddess Dormitory. At night, Kiriya breaks down the ceiling after getting flustered by a shoujo manga and falls into Kashi's room. She asks Kashi if she can stay in his room for the time being, as Kushi reassembles her brothers. But he realizes his mistake when she tries to wrestle him, and he escapes to sleep in her room. Serene offers him to repair the ceiling only if he becomes her servant, and kisses him as he's half asleep. The next day, Koshi wakes up but the ceiling is already repaired, but he's more concerned about his strange dream. Kashi cooks vegetable soup from leftovers for the breakfast. Everyone is surprised that he can cook. Senner says it's tasty as accepted of her servant. He realizes it wasn't a dream. Atena is concerned about Kashi and other girls becoming friends that quickly. While shopping with her, Kashi compliments her for being brave and not running away from her weaknesses. At the market, she runs into 2 boys and panics, but Kushi helps her out by calling her Big Sis and carries her away. Surprised by being called Big Sis, she wants him to call her Anaki, Big Sis. She thanks him for saving her, though that is when her skirt falls and she falls on his face. But now she knows why other girls trust him well and decide to protect him from the immoralities of the dorm. After learning Kashi calls Atena Big Sis, everyone wants to find out who is the best Big Sis. Menoru tests her latest experiments on him. Senner is too hungry. Kiriya utilizes wrestling tactics on him, and Atena can't bring herself to touch him without a nosebleed. Kashi concludes that is exactly what it's like to have older sisters. Free and Menoru surprise him with the news of his enrollment in middle school. On his first day at school, he runs into Tsuteya, his best friend since preschool. He hasn't seen her since his house burnt down. She is mad at him for not showing up for that long, and that she was worried about him. She has a special condition that makes her sensitive to heat, even the warmth of someone's hand. But when they reach the dorm, Fairy is dressed as a sexy bunny girl, and Menoru is outside as a result of another chemical explosion, with just her lab coat and panties. The girls suspect that Tsuteya has a crush on Kashi. Tsuteya decides to judge the dorm's suitability for him. To redeem for their bizarre activities, they want Tsuteya to sleep over at the dorm. She decides to sleep in Atena's room, as it is the most normal. Tsuteya asks Atena about her relationship with Kashi. Koshi runs into Kiriya in the bath, and they both fall in an awkward position. He screams. Hearing the scream, Atena and Tsuteya rush towards the bath. Tsuteya asks them whether they treat him as a little brother or as a man, but they are unable to answer and start avoiding Kashi. After a few days, Kiriya and Atena forget their lunch. Learning males aren't allowed in the university. He decides to disguise himself as a girl to deliver the lunch. His cover is exposed, but Atena saves him by hugging him as her little sister. She doesn't pass out as usual. Being disguised as a girl doesn't affect Atena. They find Kiriya but have to change as they are soaked. Atena borrows one of Kiriya's shirts, but the shirt's button breaks, exposing her breasts right in front of Kashi. Eventually, she passes out with a nosebleed. Atena decides they all need a vacation and invites Tsuteya as well. Serene shuts in. Hearing about the vacation as she will be away from the moon, the source of her powers that brings her peace of mind, everyone decides to bring moon-themed items to cheer her up. Frey brings her a cosplay costume from a moon-themed anime, but is rejected. Menoru's experiment ends up affecting Fairy instead. Kiria shows her Tai Chi, a form of martial arts inspired by the moon, but she ends up getting exhausted. Athena gives her a moon-themed umbrella and Kashi finishes washing her jacket, which she refers to as moon robes. She agrees to go with them and kisses him at night as he's asleep. On reaching the destination, Athena realizes that she has booked the wrong hotel and feels guilty. Kashi tries to cheer her up. Menoru and Fairy peeks on Kashi's bath. While doing so, Fairy takes off Athena's towel, which knocks Kashi off with a nosebleed. Kashi's mind is occupied by the thought of Athena's attempt to kiss. With a fish stuck in her bikini, Sutia struggles to swim. He tries to help, but as he cannot swim, he asks Kiria to help her. Sutia is relieved that Kashi is concerned for her. Athena is being harassed by males. Seeing this, Kashi helps her by taking her away. She isn't affected by his touch as she feels a sense of protection around him. Sutia apologizes to Athena and Kiria that she was jealous as they were able to help Kashi during his hardships, but she couldn't. She can understand Athena's love for Kashi as her younger brother. As he begins to behave weirdly, Faye thinks dressing him up will help him to talk. She takes him to her favorite cosplay studio, both dressed up as anime characters. She tricks him to talk it out honestly. She finds the stuff that happened during vacation, and Kushi is confused about his feelings for the girls at the dorm. But now he is clear about his feelings, that he wants to protect Athena, whether as dorm mother, as a brother, or as a man. Suta and Kashi attend the festival at Seiken Women's Private University. Menoru sells her remedies as making people horny and bringing them to their knees at the fair, but she drops one of the lustful remedies, affecting everyone there. Serene uses her powerful lunar beam to free lustful female victims. She states that by using her mysterious powers, she has drained her energy and needs to kiss to feel refreshed. She tries to kiss Kashi, but he stops himself because of Athena. Athena has volunteered as a maid and is having a hard time serving male customers. While serving male customers, she falls on Sutia's breasts. A cross-dressing competition is announced. Kiria is dressed as a guy, serving as a judge. Kashi drinks, but it was another remedy of Minoru that reveals his real personality. Kiria offers them 3 labyrinth tickets. Kashi is happier and is behaving childishly than his usual adult self. Manoru reveals what he drank was merely water. The Occult Research Society is trying to capture Sinir. They believe that she is some sort of alien creature. But their plans are ruined by Minoru's other remedy, which ultimately disturbs the festival. As Christmas arrives, Kiria is asked to arrange her family's private dojo Christmas party. Athena and Kashi offer to help her with organizing the event. Kashi notices Athena nude while cleaning the bath. She panics and runs, and falls on him, which results in an instant nosebleed. Now Athena is unable to help. He promises to do work in her place. Kashi and Kiria head out for shopping. She believes they're on a date, but realizes he only likes Athena. She wants to play Santa, and thus asks Fairy for assistance. Fairy goes overboard with measurements, making Kashi run before seeing anything bizarre. Kiria offers Serene food to help her with the celebrations. Rookies at the dojo insist that Kushi and Serene should join them for practice, but he is forced to step in when Serene clothes slip. Rookies believe that she doesn't deserve a gift as she didn't join them for practice, while Kashi helps her make friends. Kiria and Serene present Frey's dress, but she realizes her panties are exposed. Kashi is dressed up as a reindeer and Serene rides on him. He gives Kiria a present, and she almost kisses him, but Serene jumps in. Freezing winter arrives and Minoru buys a kotatsu. The girls tease Kashi under the kotatsu with their cold legs and feet and discuss how it was used in their families. Kashi asks whether he can use it to do homework with Sutia, but Athena is disappointed. Sutia agrees as long as it doesn't overheat. He falls asleep with his foot in her panties, which Athena notices, and she bans him from entering kotatsu as a punishment. While spring cleaning, Serene's room door gets stuck. Trembling from the window, she lands with her butt on his face. Cleaning Frey's room, he discovers all the dresses she forced him to wear and almost gets scolded by Sutia. They make their way to Serene's room, but the room was blocked with all of her belongings storing lunar energy. Minoru, Athena, and Serene, all drunk, pass out on Kashi. Drunk Minoru tells that she is jealous of Sutia, but before telling anything else, she passes out. Sutia finds them heaped up and punishes Kashi mercilessly. As the new year approaches, Kushi is thankful that everyone is staying to spend their holiday with him. Kashi and Kiria go for shopping to make the holiday supper memorable, as it was Kashi's first new year with them. But to everyone's surprise, he catches a cold and blacks out at the store. Sukia panics while checking his temperature and passes out as it was too high. Everyone is in a hurry to cure him, from Fairy dressing up as a nurse and tearing his clothes shamelessly, and Kiria making special juice but failing miserably. Kashi gets a nightmare about his house burning down. To relieve his anxiety, he takes bath, but only to be disturbed by Fairy and Serene, trying to cure his fever by rubbing medicinal oils all over his body. Kushi, all naked, runs into Kuria, who outfits him in ragged clothes even if they are colder. Athena cooks rice, but Fury adds her ingredients, making it burst and leaving them naked, eventually making him pass out. Athena decides to look after him all night as he is seriously ill. She expresses how glad she is that he is their dorm mother and falls asleep next to him without a nosebleed. Finally, Kachi recovers and goes on shopping for the New Year's meal with the gloves that Athena knitted for him. The end.